Hello and welcome to this video that's going to introduce you to how to install the virtual machine sandbox. And this is for the courses that I teach, David Concepcion, and we're going to use Windows Host and Ubuntu Guest. So to do this, this video is going to go over how to check your system that it meets the requirements. Then we're going to show you how to install VirtualBox. We're going to download and import the virtual machine file, and then we'll update the guest operating system, and I'll show you how to make a clone of the template so that you can use different sandboxes for different modules in your course. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is check your requirements. There is end user documentation by Oracle here. Let's just open that browser real quick, show you the page, so you could take a look at that and see if it meets your requirements. Then you could use the Windows key, which is Windows R, and it will pop up the run dialog, and you can type in msinfo32, hit the enter key, and it will give you your configuration of your computer, so you'll know exactly what you have. Also remember, you need to make sure your BIOS is set for the Intel VT or the AMD V or SMV mode, and this will allow your processor to handle virtualization. Also, here's some recommendation. I recommend you get a decent powered CPU, something that's more recent, an i3, i5, i7, or one of the core Intel processors, as well as the AMD's 5s, 7s, and 9s. Those are all great to use. Okay, for the RAM, make sure you have 16 gigs or more. That really helps. And we'll probably show you how to set that in the settings in the virtual machine. For hard disk space, it really depends. You really don't need that much. We say we should have 150 gigs, but you can delete the sandboxes that you don't need, saving up space as you go through the course. But I definitely recommend saving your virtual machines until you see your grade for that module and that assignment. Okay, here you can click on this link and download VirtualBox from Oracle. Let's give that a click, show you what it looks like. This is what the page should look like for you. And you can click Windows Host, Mac, or Apple Silicon, like Apple chips. Also, if you're using Linux as a host, you can do that as well. Okay, the install details are here where VirtualBox goes through step by step on how to do the installation. But I'm going to walk you through a very quick installation just for your edification here. Okay, so let's say I downloaded the VirtualBox install. I double-clicked on the executable, and it gives me the option to do the install. I click Next. Of course, I accept the license. I accept all of the defaults. I see that it's installing in C. I recommend you put it in C because that's where it's going to expect to find it. You could put it in another drive, but for the purpose of this course, let's go ahead and leave it in C to make things easier for you. Okay, click Next. It says here, hey, we're going to install some virtual interfaces. So it's just warning you that you will see other interfaces that show up in your networking. So you can say, yes, go ahead with that. And then it says, hey, I'm going to install some missing dependencies if needed. So you're accepting that as well. And then it says we're going to create the shortcuts and register the file associations as most applications do. Since this is a Windows machine, I click Next, ready to install, and it goes through the usual installation. That you've installed VirtualBox, go ahead and start VirtualBox by clicking on the icon on your desktop or in the Windows menu. It should look like this without these entries here on the left. And what we're going to ask you to do is shut it down. Yes. And after you shut it down, I'm going to ask you to go to the VirtualBox downloads again and take a look at this right side of the screen. It says VirtualBox Extension Pack. And we'd like you to go ahead and install that extension pack by clicking on the download that you've downloaded into your downloads folder. It should open VirtualBox one more time, and it'll ask you if you want to install the extension pack. It says reinstall. In my case, I've already installed it. So go ahead and hit yes, install, accept the licenses. It will install the package into VirtualBox. I suggest you shut down VirtualBox one more time. Go ahead and restart your machine and come back to this slide. Actually, come back to the next slide. So hopefully you've installed Oracle VirtualBox and you've restarted your machine. Now this is the opportunity for you to download the OVA file. This is a template that we've created. So I'm going to click on this. It should look like, the screen should look like this. You're pulling it from Johns Hopkins SharePoint. This is someplace that I have uploaded the file, and it's 5 gigabytes. So go ahead and click download, and it should download into your downloads folder. And after it's finished downloading, you can start up VirtualBox one more time. Next slide says import the OVA file. So what we're going to do is in VirtualBox, we're going to click on File, Import Appliance, and select that file that you downloaded, which was the Ubuntu 24.0, I believe it's 24.02 now. It may increase depending on how we make some changes to it, but I call it the template, and I'll explain that in a little bit, and it's an OVA file. So click on that, click Finish, and you'll see it'll be importing. So now you've got the machine imported. It should look like this, and it should say Ubuntu template. If you click on it, you'll see all the different settings, and you can change these settings if needed, but we've set it so that we can maximize the memory and give it a couple processors, increase the video memory, and we've also set up USB as well. And we've also set up a disk of 25 gigs. Maybe we should have made that a little bigger, but the slide says go ahead and click Start. Okay, so now we're going to start the machine, and we're going to log on to the guest operating system. And this is what the guest operating system looks like. So here you can type in your password, which is student. You can close this on the far right. It's just notifying you that you have some integration going on with your host machine. This is what the desktop should look like. On the far bottom left is the start. I call it the blue bird. And the next steps for this is for you to click on that blue bird and click on Preferences and then Ubuntu Update. So let's go ahead and do that. So have the screen a bit smaller. We have extensions in here so it auto sizes the screen for you. So Preferences, Ubuntu Update. And we're going to check for updates, and it's going to ask you for the password. So you type in student, and it'll check to see if there are any updates. And then you're going to click Install Updates, and it should ask you for the password one more time before it makes changes to your system. When it's complete, it will give you a notice that says Update Installation Complete. You can close this, and we suggest that you restart the guest operating system. So click on the blue bird, click Leave, and Reboot. Let's jump back to our PowerPoint slide. So we walk through this step by step. Here is our updates. So we already did that. Here's that entering the password. Here's the installation complete. The recommendation here is so that the browsers will update themselves just by opening and closing them. So when you're done, go ahead and click on the blue bird icon, leave, and then shut down your guest operating system again. Now I recommend you make a clone of your guest operating system template. And the way we do that is by starting the VirtualBox Manager if it's not already running. Okay, so the machine is powered off. So we're going to right-click and click on the word clone. And we're going to give it a new name. So the first module that you'll probably be working with a virtual machine might be Module 2. So I'm going to call it Module 2 and then click Next. And I'm going to do a full clone, click Finish, and it'll take a few minutes for it to make a copy of the machine. While that's working, we're going to move along. Here's the instructions you can follow. And we're just going to talk about, for a minute here, make a clone for each assignment that calls for a virtual machine. And the reason we do that is so that you can avoid modifying the template. So if anything gets messed up, you could always revert back to the template and build another virtual machine for the module. Also, make sure you shut down the guest operating system properly. I noticed that it's easy just to click on the X, but Linux sometimes gets a little finicky about open files and buffers that are left there. Also, saving space. The idea here is to delete all the virtual machines after you get your grade. Okay, hang on to them in case there's a challenge or a question. So that way you can revert back to it and we can do that. And if you have any problems, there's a troubleshooting channel for your course. Use that channel because chances are someone else has already encountered a problem like this. Or if we do want to troubleshoot it together, everyone will benefit from the solution we find. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it serves you well for the course. I wish you the best. Take care.